Hey, welcome to Out of the Box. I'm Tony Scott. I just had to, welcome to my front room. Just had to shoot this video real quick on a UFO disclosure. And NASA has they're set to do next year to disclose 2 videos of alien aircraft next year. Now this came from, I saw this last night, came from somebody on YouTube said that they had a reliable source from some people that NASA was set to disclose these videos. Now I'm sure I've seen plenty of videos from NASA, particularly from the space station, of objects that seem to be flying, you know, coming across the camera and stuff, and you really can't tell whether they're UFOs or not. They look like white dots, white dots, and then you see it come into the frame. You know, it's moving. It looks like relatively slow. Something shoots up from the Earth, and then this thing just beelines. It takes off. I don't know if we were shooting it. I don't know why you would want to shoot it or not. Who knows? I think if it's really UFOs and there's actually extraterrestrial entities out there and they're watching the planet, I think for the most part you would want to get in touch with them. My feelings are, do you really? How do we know that they're really friendly or foe? We don't know if they're enemies. We don't know who they are. But like I said, I saw this last night, and it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be looking forward to looking at what NASA has to show the public. It's going to be really interesting, and I think for everybody out there, especially for myself, because I've seen some stuff out there, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. I can't explain it, but I think if NASA is going to do something like this, that don't show blurred video, because it's just it's not credible. If you could get if they have any kind of video, especially close up, I don't know how close. I don't know what kind of cameras they're using upstairs in orbit. Whether it's the I know they used the Hasselblad when they were on the moon, and the whole moon's a totally different subject, whether we went to the moon or not. I think one of the most incredible things that I've heard from anybody would have been, any astronaut would have been Gordon Cooper. Gordon Cooper was out on saw a UFO land on a dry lake bed, which would have been, that's interesting. If he recorded that or not, who knows. Another astronaut would be Edgar Mitchell. He's said that there are definitely aliens watching our planet. And why are they watching our planet? I don't know. I would get with President Trump if he knows anything about it. I know that a couple of years ago, this is another one I saw on YouTube last night. Hillary Clinton had to go to disclose UFOs. All the other former presidents really kind of got squashed. Now, why it got squashed, who knows? It could have been a threat to national security. I seriously doubt it's a threat to national security. Another one would be a mass panic from the public. I don't know if the public's going to panic just because we know, or NASA knows, and the government knows that there's aliens watching our planet. Don't think there'd be a mass panic. I think if I were you guys, get together and get on social media and then tell tell the public that, hey, we want this disclosed. I don't care who discloses it. I don't think the government, and NASA is separate from the government. If they're going to disclose this, then it's got to be credible, guys. It has to be really credible, for it to be believable. Because you hear thousands of stories about UFO abductions. You see crazy videos out there on UFOs. We don't know if it's your video programs such as especially After Effects. We don't know if it's fake. Who knows? So for the disclosure in 2019, it's got to be credible, and I wish that I hope NASA does, because NASA claims that I think they have a lot of stuff. I did a show a couple days ago and on advanced technology from alien worlds, and I don't see that to be so. I don't see it to be true. I think our technology is our technology. The advancement would be if those UFOs actually exist and they're moving at high rates of speed. Well, my thing is, okay, well, if NASA has this and it's credible and they go public with it, and everybody says, hey, okay, that's good. What are we going to do with that? What do you think that NASA's going to do with it? How do you think the public's going to react? I mean, this has got to take off with the news stations. The media's got to get a hold of it, and then of course there's going to be interviews, and it's going to. Who knows? It could escalate. I'm sure it's going to go viral. I'm sure it's going to make headline news for weeks. I mean, for weeks, could be months. Whether these UFOs have ever touched down on our planet remains to be unseen. I mean, I know there's. I looked at Roswell. I've looked at Bentwaters in Rendlesham Forest in England. Not real sure. I know that Roswell would be an interesting thing to look at. I don't think that the UFOs are going to crash on our planet. I know there's a huge radar facility at that time that either got switched on and then just kind of messed with what was ever in the electronics in the UFO and made them crash. And there was more than one in Roswell. Actually, I think there was 3 of them. Who knows? And they said they recovered bodies, and those bodies actually went to from Roswell. They had a better medical facility in Wright-Patterson, and that's where those bodies went to, and they're probably still at Wright-Patterson. I mean, today they would be nothing but, they'd be dilapidated. I don't know. They would just be ashes by now, Well, not ashes, but they'd definitely be with bones. They would definitely be bones and stuff. So who knows? But, like I said, if they disclose that, they're going to have to go all the way back to Roswell and say, hey, listen, this actually was. It wasn't it wasn't Mylar. Because Mylar, it's made Mylar. They use Mylar for weather balloons. It's used for all kinds of stuff. It's heat resistance. It's used in making drum heads, believe it or not. It's used in packaging materials and all kinds of other stuff. I looked at it's called BOPET, BOPET. I looked that up and I found that very interesting. So who knows? Who knows about the Roswell incident? That was so long ago. But I'm sure that if that was an actual UFO, then NASA's going to have to, release that as well. And it's going to be interesting. Also, guys, don't forget to set your clocks back. It's I forgot, but it's not time to set it back. And thank God they're all automatic these days. Next, I got this. Running the helm here at Out of the Box Studio, which is actually the front room of my house. It's interesting. It's a lot of equipment to move, to be moving around and stuff. But next year, guys, check this out. Look for Project Blue Book. The television series premieres January 8th on the History Channel. I'm setting my calendar to watch this now. Project Blue Book is another interesting thing. Definitely set your clocks for that, because Project Blue Book discovered, oh my God, it could be in the 12,000 different sightings. I know, like I said before, 95% of all UFO-related incidents can be debugged, could be debunked or dismissed, which leaves you with about 5%. I know that Project Blue Book has 701 unsolved cases, and it's going to be interesting to see this show. I mean, I don't know why the Project Blue Book ever stopped. It was I got this. It started in what, 52, and it was a third study of its kind, and they terminated it in December of 1969 because they felt that there was nothing there. But of course, you know, that was quite a long time ago. It's going to be an interesting television series for the History Channel to broadcast that. And I'm definitely going to be watching it because there's tons of stuff that people have seen in the skies, and especially what are some of the like I said, Bent Waters. There was Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. There's the private pilot Kenneth Arnold in 47 or 48 discovered he was flying his private airplane up in Washington and saw 9 flying discs. Okay, no pictures of it, but he did draw a picture of it. And then I found out later that drawing actually, he redrew it. I'm not sure why he redrew it. I mean, he saw something, and just to the best of your recollection, he drew something, and the next thing you know, it's a totally different drawing. The Phoenix Lights is interesting. So if NASA knows anything about the Phoenix Lights, that's going to be interesting to know. And I know there's some big hype on the Phoenix Lights, because that's over like 20 some years ago. I know that one of the most interesting things about UFOs, what 90% or even 95%, all the UFO sightings have one thing in common, is the government is involved. There's a Air Force base, usually an Air Force base. Luke Air Force Base for the Phoenix Lights, and of course they said, well, we saw something on radar, but we don't know what it is. Well, actually, I don't know if they saw it on radar or not, but anyway, that's really if they did see it on radar, they should have said something. I saw something. This is a bit interesting for the Phoenix Lights. I saw something a couple nights ago. One of the pilots that was landing at Phoenix Harbor was Kurt Russell, believe it or not, and he actually reported that. He was with his son, and I saw that, and I said, "Oh, really? Kurt Russell? Wow, hey, cool. Somebody get a hold of Kurt Russell and ask him, hey, what did they look like? You know, and all this, you know, get the scoop, get the information." But I look forward to seeing what NASA has to offer the public, you know, because I've seen hundreds of different videos. I've seen hundreds upon hundreds of different pictures. A lot of the videos they're so hokey. They're just so hokey. I mean, you see a flying saucer, you're like a kid's top, right? And you spin it on the floor and it wobbles. Well, that's what some of those videos look like, and it's just not credible. It's not credible. It's just not credible. It just looks too hokey. And they're old. They're really old. In technology today, we have such especially in cameras and video equipment. And I know, of course, you know, if you're shooting at night, of course, you gotta jack up your ISO so high that the picture becomes noisy. Which is, you know, it's sad that we have to do that. You know, that cameras can't capture night the night ambience a little better than what they do. It's a shame that they're all noisy and stuff. But like I said, the technology today, even the UFOs that are spotted in the daytime, you got the ones in Mexico, you got the ones over in the United Kingdom. I'm not sure about Canada. If Canada's got anything. Russia's probably got some stuff. You guys got to get this. You got to get it out. You got to really treat it. treat it with care. I mean, you treat it with care. I saw something the other day which kind of, which is interesting, on crop circles. Because everybody seems to think that these extraterrestrial beings have something to do with the crop circles. Even though several people come forward and say, well, we made these with a board, and then, you know, we did it, the whole thing. And some of these crop circles look so intricately designed. How could you do that with a board? I don't get it. But what I saw the other day is coded like ones and zeros. Coded in some of the crop circles, and I can't say this verbatim unless I went back and looked at the video. It said something to the fact that beware of these alien beings bearing gifts. What does that mean? What kind of gifts are they bearing? Bearing what gifts, and who is saying this is interesting. So we got to treat this, you know, treat it delicately, because we don't know who these aliens are. We don't even know what they want. I mean, they're canvassing our planet, and who knows what they want. But one thing that I said in the show about advanced technology is what I like to see, and what I think is going to happen is travel. Because if you're traveling at that high rate of speed, well, give us that technology so we could use it, and we can, you know, say goodbye to gas. Gas goes up, and, you know, gas is three. You know, I paid $3.19 a gallon the other night. Some places is $4 or $5. Goodbye gas. Who wants to pay that? Who wants to pay that? If we have this type of technology to zoom back and forth, I mean, of course, you know, it's fine. You got to treat it lightly, but, you know, you can't have everybody on the planet zooming back and forth, and, you know, at 12,000 miles an hour. It'd just be insane. But look at the technology so that you can benefit the world. It's got to benefit the world, not just the United States, not just Russia or China or Mexico. These countries really need to get together and say, hey, listen, what do you think we can do with this technology for the world, the world, not just one country, but the entire world. With that type of technology, we could almost do it, a lot of things. But we got to be careful, because we don't know who these aliens are. If they do exist, what do they want and who they are, whether they're friendly, who knows? But if it's true that the government has had contact with them, well, then let that out too. I mean, I know they're letting it out slow. You got this Project Blue Book's coming out. You know, you got everybody on this bandwagon. I'm sure the Ancient Aliens has something to do with it. They're doing some interviews, multiple types of interviews on extraterrestrials and the disclosure. So 2019 might be a big year for, say, hey, listen, let's buckle down and get to business and try to make this planet better. Technology-wise, I mean, you look at AI these days. Artificial intelligence has come such a long way. It could be scary. I mean, artificial intelligence could put people out of jobs, but who knows? I mean, who knows? Another thing with the aliens is what I would want to know is what planets are you coming from, and how long, if you're coming from the Zeta Reticuli. I mean, who knows? I don't know where they're coming from, but why don't we get in the spaceship and go check it out? If they're friendly, then let's go check it out. What are you afraid of? I mean, what is the world afraid of? I don't know, but I know that some things. If you look at the incident in 1975, Fire in the Sky with Travis Walton. You're being abducted. I mean, forget the abduction for a minute. Let's just willingly get in and go. Let's willingly get in the crap and say, okay, what are all these controls? What does this stuff do? Where are you guys flying from? How do you get in and out of the atmosphere so quick? Let's get that knowledge. Let's go check out Mars. I mean, let's go check out some of these planets. You guys are flying at such a high rate of speed. Well, let's do it. I'm game. If they're friendly, land here, man. I'll get in. I'll take a tour of the universe with you. Wouldn't that just be outrageous? That'd be great. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'd get in. As long as it's safe, you know. But you look at all these abduction stories, and they're horror stories, man. They're saying, you know, the needles and all this stuff. And I just don't, you know, forget all that. Forget all that jazz. I don't want to be poked on, and you know, you're sitting and you can't move. The only person that ever moved was Travis Walton. Said he got up and grabbed something off the shelf and, you know, was trying to defend himself. And they said that, forget this guy. This guy's out of his mind. And they take off, and then he finally weeds his way around to another room and trying to push these buttons on the chair and trying to get out. And some guy in a space suit and a helmet, looked human, led him out, and next thing you know, he's led out to another huge area, and he said he saw more flying saucers, and then they led him into another room, and then they got him down on a table, and before he could do something to defend himself again, they put a mask over his head, and he woke up in the street. Interesting. I mean, it's just interesting. I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of it. All I know is if NASA does this, got to be credible. I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to see it. Put on your best suit and tie, and get this stuff out. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And don't forget, set your clocks back today. Don't forget Project Blue Book television series premieres January 8th on the History Channel. Don't forget to watch that. That's going to be a good one. I'm definitely going to be tuning into that. Join me next Thursday. I don't know what we got going on next Thursday. I just kind of moved the camera around and the lights and stuff, and so I could just shoot videos on the fly because I can't call Rod. Rod's doing the switching for me and running the show, and I just can't keep calling him every, you know, come over and help me do all this stuff, and, you know, whatever. So I just kind of set the stuff up myself so I can sit there and shoot when I want to. Anyway, next Thursday, I don't know what's going on. We got, I know I got some Bible stuff to, subscription, some Bible, understanding the Bible is big, I think, and going through that and seeing what the Bible has to offer as far as the extraterrestrial stuff. Check out Chuck Missler. Chuck Missler passed away, but check out Chuck Missler and UFOs. Just go to YouTube and Chuck Missler space UFOs and watch some of that stuff and see what he's got to say. I don't think the Bible really has anything to say about UFOs. They're all angels, and then of course the angels fell out of heaven, and then, you know, who knows? The aliens could be the demonic angels. I've heard that before. I mean, if they're demonic angels, forget it. Don't even disclose that crap. Are you out of your minds? I don't want to deal with any of that. But if they are friendly, definitely push for the 2019 disclosure, and because that's going to be something. So look for 2019 disclosure. NASA to release 2 videos, and I'm sure they have more than just 2 videos, but you be on the lookout for that. Anyway, you guys join me next. Got this other stuff going on. I don't know what's going on here. Running the show. I'm on my own. Anyway, join us next Thursday. We'll have something for you guys. All right. I'm Tony Scott from Out of the Box. We'll see you next Thursday.